Hello, everybody. So normally I have a class on Saturdays, 9 to 11, SEA Maths, and we do it privately on Google Meet for the class. But I decided, exam, hey, our exam is in the next 5 days or something like that. Let's do it publicly. Let's give some students who, may not have the chance to revise with anyone, a chance to revise with us. Now, every time I talk right now, it hurts. So that's the next reason I do it publicly, because they must have me talking all the time. So I want to talk minimum. Why does it hurt? Because I have a son. He is 3 years old and going to be 3 years old, and as bleeding this youth, and then I dry him off and thing. And he real hyper. He always jumping and bouncing and thing. And I leaned over like this, and he just bounced and hit me and backslip this. No, normally I know to not do that. Veteran parents could tell you don't just pay your head over a while child like that. But I slip up, so now I have a bus slip. So good to see Kyle, Nazri, Judah, Shivani, Tamika, Silas, Naveen, Isaiah, Kayla, everybody from the class. Good to see you all here. You all could always come back and watch your video here on YouTube. What we want to do in today's class is we're going to do a lot of questions. I will be just start today's class and keep going until you all get tired. So we will be doing some turns and angles, some time, some unequal sharing, some whole numbers. We may even come along to a booklet and do some questions on that as well. Well, let's start off with the easy one. I think the easy one would be turns and angles. Let's start off with that, and then maybe we'll jump into the unequal sharing. How is that? Press like on the video if you all agree with that move. Or you can press Y mean yes in the chat. That's what we do with the CXC students. How do we share this screen? How are I going to get through this class talking, boy? So there we go. You all see in this first question here, calculate the value of X. This is in 2010. How you all feeling about that? You can do these questions. So these should be questions that everybody at this stage in the game, if you're writing an exam next week, at this stage in the game, you should be able to do it right next week, Tuesday. The triangles labeled X is next week, Tuesday. Yeah? Next week, Tuesday. Yeah. The triangles labeled X in the diagram below are equal size. Calculate the value of X. So at this stage, you know that all the angles in a circle add up to 360 degrees. So we just looking to subtract the angles that they give us. So we were given 90 and the 45. And when we add 90 and 45, we get 135 degrees. Now if we subtract that, we should be able to find a way to get the value of X. Now 5 went from this to there. 3 from 5 is 2. So we're getting 225, which is nice. But that's not X. Is X 225? That's not X. What that stands for? That stands for what that stands for? That stands for 1, 2, 3. 3 X's. That this is 225 here when we subtract these. So I would say, well, what would I say? I would say 225 divided by 3 is really X. Yeah. Now, if the screen is blurry, some of you all will be seeing a blurry screen. Some of you all seen it crystal clear. If the screen is blurry, you need to go on your YouTube settings and just up the resolution. I think it's a little gear icon. You up the resolution. So yeah, and when you divide this by 3, you get 75 degrees. Well done. Who was the first person to say this? Maria. No, actually, no. Silas. Well done, guys. So when you divide it by 3, you get 75 degrees. So everybody, even if you're on mobile, you could increase your settings. Scrolling down, the minute hand and a clock. So when you get in this turns and angles, a lot of time they'll use clocks. A lot of time they use people facing one direction, north, east, west, south. You must understand that inside out. Be prepared for that, people. The minute hand of a clock moved from 9 to 2 in the direction of the arrow shown. Through how many degrees did the minute hand move? Well, that's where it will end up, because it moved from 9 to 2. and it's in this direction. So the angle that they're interested in is this angle. So there are different ways that you would have been taught this. So anybody who comments that it's blurry, y'all could let them know that they just need to change the settings on their end. I'm sending this out at 1080p, which is the highest for streaming that is normally be. Most people stream at 760. This is 1080p. So yeah, so we want to figure out this angle here, and people are putting the answers as 150. So how do we do this? Well, there's something that you should kind of know. So I'm seeing that Judah said 180. Is that from before? Is that no? Ryan is saying 150. Vikash is saying 150. Elias, Salas, Renee, they are saying 150. Kyle is saying 180. It's definitely not 180 because we know that 180 is a straight line. It has to be like this. If it finished off on 3, that's 180. So there's something that you need to know with clocks. You just need to notice that each division here. In fact, let's work it out. There are how many divisions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Each division from each 5 minutes bracket there from 12 to 1, 1 to 2. If I divide 360 by 12, what do I get? 360 divided by 12, what do I get, class? Well, 12 could go into 36 3 times, right? So 360 divided by 12 is 30 degrees. Is that so? So it means that each one of these little soldiers here is like a 30 degrees. So that's something I want you to take now, put it in your back pocket, and carry that into the exam room. I mean, not on a physical piece of paper, and not advocating cheating here. But always keep that in mind, that these little things, this is 30 degrees. That's 30 degrees. So that's 30 degrees. It means that if we want to measure from here to there, or as people in Trinidad, a lot of people pronounce measure like measure. I don't know why, measure. So this is 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. We have 5 of them. So 30 times 5 give us the 150 degrees. How many of y'all did it that way? How many of y'all did it that way? Another way you could have quickly see it is that we know that this here would be 180 degrees and it's just 30 degrees less. So it's 150 degrees. And that's nice. And once you have that piece of knowledge, once they bring a clock, you're smiling. You're smiling. When you see the clock, you will smile. In the diagram below, the 2 angles A are equal. Calculate the value of A. So once again, this is testing you on your little geometry. This testing your geometry here. Basic Euclid mathematics. So what is it? What is it saying? It's saying in the diagram below, the 2 angles labeled A are equal. And these are the angles A, in case you're not seeing it there. And those angles are equal. Those angles are equal. But it's raining here, so I hope you're hearing me properly. And this is 50 degrees. Now we already seen a little square inside here, so it means the whole thing. I just want to spell thing and like T-I-N-G and thing and these like, but SCI is trying to spell properly and not use too much bad English, because I know you all still have to write SCI English and that kind of thing. I don't want to next thing here, but says talk like that. This had to be correct. Don't do that. So 90, the whole thing is 90 degrees, right? So this whole right angle in question is 90 degrees. And this little part here is 50 degrees. So it's we kind of did a question like this already. We just use the circle. So if we get the remaining parts, that's 2A, or 2 of the A's. You understand what I mean? I kind of write it like algebra here. But I mean the 2 A's is really the 90 minus the 50. Okay? Or you can write it like this, 90 minus 50. So that's really 40 degrees. So if 2 of the A's, or 2 times A, you understand? 2 of the A's is 40 degrees, then A is equal to 40 degrees over 2, which is 20 degrees. This is actually an algebraic kind of look here. So when you reach in Form 1, your teacher in Form 1 will be introducing you to this kind of method of doing the mathematics. All right, but logically, you can figure this out as well. Okay, so let's go on to the next question. Number 4, the gauge, the needle on up to now, I understood for 32 years, and this word I'm not too sure what is the correct pronunciation. Anyhow, we can use gauge, right? Needle on a welder's gas tank moves in the direction. Some of you all know these questions already. You'll see them already. This is 2011, number 36. So we actually didn't pass paper questions coming up here. How many degrees does the needle turn through from start to 8? Oh, so this when I see this, I immediately feeling like a clock, but it's not a clock. It's starting on the under part here. It's starting below, facing south. It's starting on this 0. And it's moving anti-clockwise, also not like a clock. How many degrees does the needle turn through from start to 8? So it's ending up quite over here. But just like a clock, each division seems to be 30 degrees because it has the same number of divisions that's on a clock. I counted 12 divisions, so it means each one is 30 degrees. So I can do my same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can do my same 30 times 8, and I'm seeing a lot of people with the answers already. Adim, good to see you. Adim, turn on your camera. Normally in class, Adim, we have to always remind Adim to check and see if his camera okay. Naveen, what are you doing at 250, bro? Kadeen, 240. Right, so it's supposed to be me alone in the student hub right now, but yet I hear any noises. 240 degrees. So well done, people. This is 240 degrees. All right, so rate out of 10, how much you understand everything in angles so far? How you find it going? Okay, there's some more. The needle moves from 0 through 135 degrees. Where's the new position of the needle? So it's starting here, and it's moving 135 degrees. That's a little strange. That is a little strange because we are custom working in multiples of 30, and like you could watch 135 degrees and note that 30 can't go into that exactly. But we're ready for them still. We're ready for them. Are they ready for them? I know it's not this because that's 180. I know it's more than this, right? Because that's 90. So this is like 90. This is like 120. Y'all seen what I'm doing? You're probably figuring out what I'm doing here. Right? This is like 50 because you're adding 30 all the time, right? You're adding the 30 degrees. Each piece here is 30 degrees. And then finally, this will take us to the 180 here. But they want to know where it will end up if I went 135 degrees. So I've seen some people saying 4.5, well, Silas. And then I've seen Tyree saying 5.5. Which one of them you'll agree with? Which one of them you'll agree with? The middle of 5. Well, let's see. We want 135 degrees. 135 degrees to me would be between 120 and 150. In fact, exactly between 120 and 150 is 135. How do I know it's exactly in between? Because if I take 120 and I add half of 30, I'll end up on 135. So since it's half of 30, it means it's halfway in between here. So in this question, you want to say not 5.5 people, not 5.5, 4.5. Now, I understand why some of you all seen 5.5 because you're thinking like a clock still. You're thinking 5.5, but you're actually counting this way. So it's actually 4.5. You're counting going anti-clockwise. So you want to pay attention to the question and not just force your assumptions on the question, right? So this one, the needle moves from 0 through 135 degrees. Where's the new position of the needle? It's actually in 4.5. Yeah, Spanish. Don't worry, we have people. So I have to go. Okay. And then we will go to number 5. Sasha is facing southeast. SE here means southeast, right? Sasha is facing southeast. She turns in a clockwise direction to face northwest. So she is southeast. So it's like this is Sasha and this is her eyes. She's facing southeast. And then all of a sudden she turned around and she's facing that way. She turned around and she's facing bang, northwest. So what's the question? What fraction of a whole turn does Sasha make? Now, when I do this question in class, initially a lot of people give the right answer, but sometimes they're not given the right, they wouldn't get the mark. They're giving the right answer, but look, Naveen is giving you, he's doing it here. He's giving the right answer, but he wouldn't get the mark. Wow. So, what fraction of a whole turn does Sasha make? The question is asking you, what fraction of the whole turn? So some people see the southeast and they see a turn to northwest and they say like, boom, that's a straight angle. She just turn around. She make a turn from one just facing front, now she facing back. That's 180 degrees. I know that, and they just write 180 degrees. That's correct and wrong at the same time. Yes, that's the right. That's true. She did turn 180 degrees, but it's not the correct answer. They asked what fraction of a whole turn. 180 degrees is actually half turn. A whole turn is the full 360 degrees. Or you can work it out by actually putting the 180 over the 360 and boiling it down like bhaji until you get a half. Wow. Don't be right and wrong in the exam. Just be right and right. Be right and right. Don't be right and wrong. So this is a half turn. How many more degrees must she turn in order to face north? Now they come back out of fractions and they want degrees. You understand? They want degrees. They come back out of fraction line and they want to know how much more degrees how much more degrees Sasha need to just end up on the north? She was northwest, right? So she facing northwest. How many more degrees? How many more degrees? Right, I've seen some of y'all understanding. You need to give them what they ask for. So some people saying 45 degrees. Are they agree with them people? I see a man Hyperdark saying 30. Hyperdark said 30. Tyree said 30. This person said 30. But most people saying 45. And as we say 45 and thing. So why y'all saying 30? Because y'all remember the divisions in the clock. But let's look at how the clock divisions are, right? In the clock, the divisions in a clock. Let's put the divisions in a clock. Let's draw the circle for the clock. Let's draw the 12, the 6, the 9, the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The divisions in a clock is different. We are aware, we smart. We know that this from here to there in a clock is 30 degrees. You ready for them with that? That's in your back pocket from since the question from before, right? Now, the divisions on this cardinal points here, and these cardinal points, different. We know that from north to east is 90, 90, 90, 90. Or if you go from north to south, we know that is 180. But how much is this one? This kind of northeast, north thing. It's not 30. In a clock, how many divisions do we have? We have 12 divisions in all. In this guy, count it. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 divisions. So I want you to remember, those who saying 45 degrees actually right. You actually just moving 45 degrees. Little tricks and thing like that could just make you sneak out a little marks. The operator paying timeout by Adim, you must do something ridiculous. Anytime you do something ridiculous, you have an angel here as a moderator, it's just bang and you just end up in a timeout. Right? So don't do anything ridiculous. And if you do too much, you will end up banned from the live. You wouldn't be able to view the live. How many more degrees must she turn in order to face north? How many degrees must she turn in order to face north? Wait, we just do that question. Deja vu. Right. So we ready? We get that question. Next question. The angle formed between the hands of the clock shown below, so more clocks with Y, circle the term. They're not even asking us about the degrees or anything. They're asking us about what is the angle. What's this angle? What type of angle? Circle the term listed below that best describes the angle Y. This is best described as what? Well, it's more than a straight angle, so it's not acute. I've seen everybody put the same thing, so I don't really need to talk about it. Just circle it and go. Reflex. That's a reflex angle. This on this side is an acute. What's obtuse? No, wait. Yeah, that's a reflex. What's the obtuse angle though? Obtuse is like this. This is 90 here. This is 180. So that's obtuse. Obtuse angles live between 90 and 180 degrees. That is their house, somewhere between there. Reflex is when you cross the 180. And the acute is when you're just under 90, them smallies. The acute is the smallies. Like if you make 90, that's a right angle. But anything smaller than that, we call that the acute. Right? If that come, we just secure in the bag very quickly if that come. Complete the following statement. Angle Y measures. Oh gosh, they really wanted us to get this degrees. So we need to find out the degrees, but we are ready. We understand what we need to do. 1, 2, count the divisions. 2. Now, I don't want you all to count the numbers like this. Some of you all might end up in problems counting the numbers and count extra and thing. I really want you all to count the spaces in between, like how much it will turn. You understand? So to me, I am getting how many spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 spaces. I'm getting 8 spaces. So it's 30 times 8. So I got 20 what? So this is 240 degrees. What is man talking about 20? We do anything with 20? I don't know what this man talking about. That can't be 20 spaces, right? The 4 points ABC are equally spaced around the edge of a circular spinner and connected to the center O as shown below. Raj turns the spinner so that A moves in an anti-clockwise direction to the position of B. Ooh, what was the size of the angle through which the spinner moved? What are you all thinking? So you had to read this question and follow instructions. This is a follow instructions question. If you're notorious for not following instructions, you could forget about this question, man. But if you are professional at following instructions, you're inside. So I've seen some people not following the instructions. Some people are. And that's 240 from the question before. All right, so which direction is anti-clockwise? Is it this direction or is it this way? Well, if you watch a clock, if you sit down now and you're watching the clock because you're like, how many more minutes still have to write this exam? How many more hours still have to write this exam? You realize that the clock goes like this, and that the direction that the hands turn in the clock, that's clockwise. So if you're turning in an opposite direction, this one. That's anti-clockwise, uncle clockwise, anti-clockwise. So it turns like this, ta-da, from A to B. That's what it said. A to B. So that, to me, that's just 90 degrees. So all who say 90 degrees, congratulations, you're an expert at following instructions. Describe fully how Raj can turn the spinner so that B moves to the position of D. Now, there's a few ways to describe this. But we want to get B to move. Oh, actually, there's two ways to describe this. How do we move from B to D? How do we turn it so that B moves to the position of D? You all take a little time and write that in the chat. Come on, start typing. How do we move from B to D? The part C is in Raj turn the spinner so that C moves 225 degrees in a clockwise direction to a point M. Label the point M on the diagram above. 225 clockwise to M. So the last part, we're going to move 225 degrees clockwise and we're going to write M. But first, you all need to tell me how we're going from B to D. So I see in Sophia saying 90 degrees. Seeing Selassie, what kind are Obia? Adim in a half turn, right? So rotate 180 degrees. So I can see it properly. If you're not seeing it properly, that happening on your end. What you need to do is look, I think it's a gearbox, right? Somebody did it already. Is a kind of gearbox thing. Wow, look at that gearbox. The kind of gearbox thing you need to look for in the corner. That looking kind of alienish. Is the kind of gearbox thing you need to look for in the corner and raise the resolution. Half turn. He could turn 180 degrees in a clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. So this person coming in hot calendar. Well done. So you can start at B and turn this way, or you can start at B here and turn this way. 180 degrees. So once you say 180 degrees, half turn, doesn't matter whether it's anti-clockwise or clockwise, you get through. You and your family and your clan get through there. So let's do the next question. The next question is that we starting on, who we starting on, boy? We start Raj. Raj, he's starting on C, boy. He's starting on C. He's moving 225 degrees in a clockwise direction, and we need to draw M. Right? He's starting on C. We're moving 225 degrees in a clockwise direction. Clockwise is this way. But the problem is we're not really too familiar with this 225. I mean, we do it just now. We do it just now in a question. But what we're familiar is this like 90, 180, even 275. If they say 275, we immediately know come here. Like that. That's 275, right? This is 180 or this is 90 here. But 225 appears to be somewhere between these two guys. I am here to tell you today that is actually exactly between A and D. You'll agree with me? You'll agree with what this man's saying here, boy? Exactly between A and D. So it's like Raj is starting off at C. He turns 90. Then he turns another 90. So he's on 180. And then we're on 180, right? We need to end up on 225. To end up on 225, we need to turn an additional 45 degrees. But 45 degrees is half of 90. So Raj, I need to put my M. I need to follow instructions. Otherwise, and again, the marks. I need to put the M right there. I think that's what they want. They want me to put the M. 2.5. Not 2.5 turns. That's actually 3/4 turn. But I understand what you mean when you say 2.5. 2.5, 90 degrees, you want to say. But it's actually 3/4 of a turn. Okay. Why is in the chat if you understand where to put M, if that made sense to you? Let's go on to the next question. Pete is standing facing north in the middle of a circular field. Pete turns clockwise to face target A. I am hungry. Wow, should I eat breakfast this morning? Pete turns clockwise to face target A. From the following list, circle the type of angle through which he turns. See, I'm hungry and I didn't really catch what I say. I read it, but I didn't really read it. You only need to type Y once. Look. Watch Micah. Y. Micah, your Y key stick out. Rennie doing the same thing. If you overdo the Y's, what gonna happen? You're gonna get banned. Okay, so Pete turns clockwise to face target A. From the following, let's circle the type of angle through which he turns. Still didn't understand what I'm saying. So Pete is standing facing north, right? So Pete facing north, right? In the middle of a circular field. Facing north. I see now they didn't get the answer. I didn't even understand what I'm reading yet. Pete is standing facing north in the middle of a circular field. So here's Pete. He's at the dot. He's facing north. Great. And he turns clockwise to face target A. Okay, I understand now. So he's facing north and he went from northos to targetos, like that. From the following list, circle the type of angle. That's an acute, man. That's a really small one. That's smaller than 90 degrees. So well done. Well done, guys. You're all correct. It is an acute angle. From the target A now, why are we calling it targets though? Anyhow, from target A, Pete continues to turn clockwise to face target B. Through how many right angles does he turn in this single movement? There's somebody in... And I can let you know that CXC actually controls like the marking and stuff with SCS, CXE. Yeah. They actually mark and stuff. The SCA exams. In case you didn't know, now you know. But there's somebody who does these questions in turns and angles. They love to trick you with how they are seeing the question, but they realizing that now. One moment they're asking you about degrees, next moment they're asking you about fractions, next moment they're asking you how many right angles. So we know it's at 180 degrees because we went from target A to target B. So don't just put 180 again, answer the question. Through how many right angles does he through? I can't really see that word too much. It's hurting my lip. Through how many right? I gave that story at the start of the class. How many right angles does he turn in a single movement? Well, to me, that looking like 2. So is in a inner 180 degrees, there are actually 2 right angles. 1, 2. So all those who put 2, and it was a lot of you, I think everybody, that's correct. Pete continues to turn clockwise to face target C. Is a papi show it Pete, boy. So Pete do this turn, then Pete do this turn, and then Pete do this turn. Pete, you could just do that all together and just save you all them other extra questions in a Pete. All right, so Pete went from north to target C. That's 275. That's the question. Let me see what they're asking us in the question. Through how many right angles does he turn in this single movement? This question here is not precise. This question, Greg just lost his tooth. Wow. Greg? Oh, yeah. I'll just be losing molars and thing around the age of 11. Imagine you pull out a tooth and go and write a CA exam. Well, yes. From target A, Pete continues to turn clockwise to target B. Wait, we already read that. Lost track of hours. So Pete continues to turn clockwise. So what is the total number of not right angle, but quarter turns that Pete makes? So we should know that a quarter turn is really a right angle, right? This person was real happy in this question, right? So a quarter turn is like this. And this question is not precise because it's easy for a student to say that this question is asking us if he's going from target B to target C, how many right angles or quarter turns does he turn? And it's half. If that is true, it's half. But it seems, based on what we got, that this question is actually asking about his full journey from north all the way to target C. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So I've seen the 2 answers. I've seen some people saying a half, which is correct in a way, because you're thinking like target B to target C is half of a right angle, half of a quarter turn. And then I've seen some people saying 3, which is correct if you're thinking like from north to target C. So this question is a little ambiguous because they didn't clearly state what they're asking. Hopefully no ambiguous questions come in your exam. So 3 or a half, I would give both of those answers correct as a teacher. Anyhow, Anna is standing facing east. She turns in a clockwise direction and is now facing west. What is arrow for? Just to trick you out. They should have put this arrow. The person who draw this, if you're listening to me, when you're doing this, put this arrow and stop right here, bro. Don't put this out, right? That's how we do it. Or take this arrow and put it somewhere here so to show clockwise. Because she's supposed to stop and is now facing west. She over here, but your arrow stop and south, so it's chaining me up. Anyhow, so you went from east all the way to west. Through how many degrees is that? Okay, finally, they actually degrees. Degrees is your favorite thing. 180 degrees. And people in the chat have that. Isaiah, GTH, Naveen, Selena, Nazri, Niham, Kadeen, Evan, Naruto. Hey, Naruto, boy. Naruto out here answering questions. Yeah. All right, so let's go on to the next question. That's it? Wait. What year was this? 2016. I'll already get you when it comes to angles and that year, boy. Look at that. But it was only 1 mark I get for it, though. But no tricks. The diagram below, this was one of the tricky ones in 2017. You see this spinning top thing? Anytime you see a spinning top thing, take your time. They're coming out strong. The diagram below shows the blades of a fan labeled A, B, C, and D. So it's a fan, and it's the blades. So this is somebody Lasco fan here. Is somebody, because you could see it. You could see it. Anybody have a Lasco fan in the live? Anybody, somebody right now watching this live, sit down in front of a Lasco fan. Lasco. So that's a fan right here. And what they're going to ask you about this. What fraction of a turn does blade A make if it turns in a clockwise direction to the position of blade D? Yeah, look them at the Lascos there. Me. Right, so from blade A to blade D, boy, and we're going clockwise. You see how I make my arrow, people? You see how I make my arrow? All right, so from blade A to blade D, and we're going clockwise. What fraction of a turn? Hey, you really need to come really good with these questions. You have to listen to me. Everybody pay attention. When you're reaching the exam Thursday and you see your angles question, watch what they are asking you in all the questions, but pay attention and make sure you answer exactly what they are asking you. You can answer 275 degrees, 3 right angles, all kind of thing here. But what they're asking, what fraction of a turn? This is one whole turn. So this is actually 3/4 of a turn. So the answer that they're looking for is 3/4. So anybody putting 3 and 270, you're right and wrong. The answer is this is 3/4 of a turn. I hope I express myself there so I didn't lose that mark. Oh gosh, this question went long pants. How many quarter turns does blade B make if it turns in a clockwise direction to the position of blade D? I need to put my phone on silent. Oh, people are trying to join. Sorry for the delay, people. Just making sure everybody living the life here. Okay. Kiara, Kyle, what's up? How is life? How it feel to be like, less than a week before SE? How are you feeling? Like, how are you feeling? It's silent. I was trying to turn my phone on silent. How are you feeling? Are you feeling nice? Good. Are you feeling excitement? Real good, says Adi. Normal. Good. Very calm. In patience. I love our scene here. I could tell y'all a lot of times your parents is be freaking out. Your parents is, although you good and you calm and you just humble and thing and you just take the thing. Your parents, them like panicking, but they will be showing that brave face. They're not trying to, make you feel frightened or anything for the exam. I remember the days. It was nice. My mother sent me off with an apple. Do that exam, eat that apple, come home. How many quarter turns does blade B make if it turns out? All right, I talked about that one already. Oh no, I didn't. So you're going from B to D, and they want to know how many quarter turns. But back in the days when I did exams, you all have to do a lot of writing now. Did you know? When I did exams, it was called common entrance. And I did that in the year. Well, yeah, I do that when I think it was in the year 1999 or 2000. It was the last common entrance. I was the last of the Mohicans. It was the last common entrance. And when I did common entrance, you just used to have a shade. It was a multiple choice. Anyhow, I've seen people already answers here, but people put in all kind of wildness as the answers. The question is saying how many quarter turns does the blade B make if it turns in a clockwise direction to blade D? Answer what they are asking you for. 1, 2. 2 quarter turns. 2 quarter turns. Yeah, we used to just shade answers. I think it was 60 questions. I think, if I remember correctly. 15 science, 15 social studies, or something like that. Or it wasn't 90 questions. I forget. It's such a long time ago. I believe it was in the year 2000. I went into secondary school in 2001. Ending of 2000, 2001. And it was just some questions to shade. It was a party. I think, or was it 60 English, 60 maths, and 60 science and social studies? Some kind of thing like that. Yeah, but the questions is multiple choice. So you're just shading. And then when you're done shade all them questions, you write one big fat essay, and that is it. Yeah, I had one essay to write. I could remember what I wrote in my essay. I wrote that I was a disabled student, or differently abled, I think is the proper term. I was in a wheelchair, but I wrote a letter to my teacher, a real emotional letter to my teacher, thanking her because I passed for my first choice. And even though I was disabled, she still helped me to be successful, and she didn't treat me differently and that kind of thing. Whoever correct that essay must be shed a tear and say, just take all the marks. Just take all the marks. Just take all the marks, because I passed for my first choice for real after that essay. They was like, yes. So sometimes if you have the chance, then you could train a little emotion. I'm not an English teacher, but I just saying what I did, and it worked, Through how many degrees does blade C turn in an anti-clockwise direction to the position of blade E? So they're asking you the same question with different things. What fraction of a turn, how many quarter turns, and through how many degrees? You understand how they're asking it in different ways here and then different things. Does blade C turn in an anti-clockwise direction to the position of blade B? Blade C to blade B, anti-clockwise, how many degrees? So we're going from blade C to blade B in an anti-clockwise direction. How many degrees do we turn? 90. Yes, 90. So I've seen some wrong answers there. I'm not going to pull you up. I'm posting all you up. But it's 90 degrees. And people still not paying attention to what the question asking you. I've seen some people saying 270. But then they say anti-clockwise. They said anti-clockwise. So not going this way. You're just swinging back to blade C, blade B here from blade C. On my knees, I'm begging you to read these questions carefully, to have little tricks in them. Make sure you read every single word. The keywords here. If blade B travels 200 centimeters in one whole turn, how many half turns will it take to make 300 centimeters? So I don't need to scroll up to do this question. This is easy man thing. Once you're seeing your fractions properly here, right? So 200 centimeters is one whole. So yeah, one whole is really 200 centimeters, right? So they want to know how many half turns it'll take to make 300. Well, 300 centimeters is like, we could see that. I feeling like all you can see it. I don't need to explain the fractions and things. It's like 1.5. Yeah, Kyle put it here, 1.5. But that's not the answer. That's not the answer. Keep in mind. This is like 1.5 turn, right? Yeah, but how many half turns in 1.5? So don't just stop on 1.5 and figure it out. How many half turns in 1.5? And Naveen and them boys, Naruto, he ain't get through, boy. Naruto. To try back your jutsu on that one day, boy. But Naveen is saying it here, 3 half turns. Catch it? So 3 half turns. In 1.5 turn, it'll go half, make up 1. That's 2 halves. And then you have a next half. So that's 3 half turn, right? Y'all could see it in your mind. You seeing it? You're seeing it? Are you seeing it? Why isn't the chat if you're seeing it? So let's go on into 2018. This was one of the weird ones. I think in 2018, 2019, it had some really weird ones with pelting a target and it turned this way, and if you miss it, turn that way, and all kind of thing. Yeah, that's the weird ones. So So that we go through this and see what's happening. The person who ever creating these questions is be having the time of their life. So just make sure you watch out for them. The diagram below shows a circular target labeled north, south, east. There should be a comma here, south, east, and west, and an arrow pointing north. Between south and east have a comma. The target is used to play a game. Rules of the game. If the target is hit, the arrow moves. So someone is asking, how many questions we doing? I feel we could, are you ready for a whole day sweat? I feel we could go until like around 4 o'clock, we still here. Why isn't it chat if you feel we could go up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon? If the target is hit, the arrow moves quarter turn clockwise. Wax, if you hit it, bam, it turn a quarter turn clockwise. If the target is missed, it turns a quarter turn anti-clockwise. So if I pelt this with I guess a dart, and there's a dart is used, wax, and you hit it with a dart, there, bling, it will turn quarter this way. But if you miss, I guess if you miss, it's like here, so wax, it will turn quarter this way. Nice. Everything is being visualized here because I like to visualize and use as much senses as possible when I'm reading a question, right? Even sound. How many quarter turns does the arrow move from west to south in a clockwise direction? This has nothing to do with anything. That they're just asking me how many quarter turns from west to south in a clockwise direction. That's all. This has nothing to do with anything. How many quarter turns does it move from west to south in a clockwise direction? Fine. If we was on west and we move to south clockwise, 1, 2, 3. That's 3 quarter turns. I'm answering the question. Hey, Naruto, your redemption, bro. Redemption. People saying yes to the 4 o'clock, yes? Me say, oh wow. No, we're not going till 4 people. That's in case you didn't know, that's clearly a joke. 3 quarter turns. 3 quarter turns. Well done. Sally starts her game with the arrow pointing north. Fine. So we back to the thing. We in the game now. So that was just a warm-up. That was a warm-up, Pat. It was a warm-up. Sally starts her game with the arrow pointing north. She has 3 hits followed by 2 misses. Wax, wax, wax. Miss, miss. Right. In what direction is the arrow now pointing? Now I immediately know that the answer is this. Because it's come like she only get 1 correct. Because she get 3 correct and 2 wrong. So the 2 erase off the 2 that here and it just end up with 1. So that's what I've seen. You all saw that? It felt like that to you also. Immediately you find out, see east. If you didn't see that, well then you could go ahead and play the game with her. Always highlight this thing again. Right. So she hit, she hit, she hit, she missed, she missed. She ended up back on east. So you could play the game like that too. But in my mind, I see like I could just say 3, take away 2, 1 correct. All right, you end up on east. Okay, Sally, you're facing east now, sis. Now let's go and see if that's the answer to the question. I don't want to just write east. I want to read back the question and see. In what direction is the arrow now pointing? Yes, that's the answer. The arrow is now pointing east. Nice. Arctic Wolf say nice. Well done. So Richard starts his game with the arrow pointing north. So Richard decides to play. Move along, Sally. In comes Richard. After 3 throws, the arrow points west. So this was one of the weird questions. This is the weirdest question we do for the whole class. Let's take our time and settle this weirdness. Now, I would guess maybe close to 100% of you all would have seen this question before. Very likely a teacher would have pulled out this question before. And if you're in my class, you see this question like 2 or 3 times already. So let's do it. Using hit or miss, complete the list below to show the order of 2 possible hits and misses that Richard could make. Richard started his game with the arrow pointing north. After 3 throws, the arrow points west. So he is here. Now, notice something going on with Richie. He losing because unless he get all correct, 1, 2, 3, and we know he did. Well, he could get all correct and end up there, right? He could end up all correct, or he could have probably get 1 correct and then 2 wrong. I say incorrect, but when I mean correct, I mean he hit the board and then he missed, so it ended up back on west. You all visualizing this with me? Or he hit. That would have been the best for him if he hit all and it ended up on west. So what the question really asking us to do? They want us to complete this. So if we use any top one, if he's hitting, he could hit. Y'all agree with that? Why isn't the chat if you agree with my decision here? Or somebody could have say hit, miss. That's also correct. He'd end up on west that way too. But I like hit. Like get the man positivity out here, people. And with this one, all you need to do, you could do anything in not anything. But if you put a miss here and a hit here, you get it correct. Or if you put a hit here and a miss here, you get it correct. You just need to make sure you have 1 miss, just so you'll end up with 2 misses in all and 1 hit. That making sense to y'all? Hopefully it does. Come back and recap it. Hey, I thought we'd done with this question of a part B hiding out here. At the start of another game, the arrow is pointing east. So this person started with the arrow pointing east. What is the least number of throws a player can make for the arrow to point north? So we start off some game. Ignore this, right? We start off some game and we pointing east. And the question is asking us, how many throws does the player need? The least to point north. Well, a miss is still a throw. You just throw and miss. So if he throw and it didn't even hit the paper, it end up off the board here, and he miss, this arrow in and swing back and hit north. So 1 good miss. So all you need, the least number of throws is 1. You need to say miss. They're asking about number of throws. So you can say 1 throw. That's the least number of throw. But if you want to be specific because you're feeling paranoid, you can say he can throw 1 throw that misses, or 1 miss, 1 missed throw. Okay, let's go on to the last question. This is 2021 specimen paper, which I've done already. The second hand shown on the clock turned 2 right angles. What number did the second hand point to after the turn? This is just freeness for you and your family. You could bring your dog to come and do this question with you here. The second hand shown on the clock turns 2 right angles. 2 right angles will put us where, people? The first right angle will put us actually on 2, because the right angle is 3 of the 30s. And the next right angle, I believe the first person to type it here was Isaiah. Well, then Isaiah. Silas, well, a whole set of people saying it now. The next one would put us here. 2, 2 right angles. So we over here. So 5. 5 is the answer. All right. So that brings us to the end of turns and angles. What are you feeling for? Let's see it up on my screen here. Let's see it. Are you feeling for a little time? A little unequal sharing? So a parent sent me this. And it's once the unequal sharing questions. Why this thing so tiny? But we can zoom. So I'm feeling we could dabble in some of these unequal sharing questions. Now we do we probably do all of these already in the class. In our class. Oh my gosh, it's a whole set. And these are past paper questions or just questions that the parents get from wherever they get it from. No copyright infringement intended. So I want to take some time and I'll do this. Who type up this? I'm gonna call no names. Maybe I'll have to go because I seen it's the same. I know these questions. Maybe I'll go for my typed up version from this. We'll see. If I see any typos, I'll just go to the other version. Y'all ready? Y'all want to do the unequal sharing or y'all want to do the whole numbers of time? What are you feeling for? Seen a lot of time. Time. And unequal sharing pop up here. But the times seem to be winning this now. Okay, fine. Time it is. I guess a lot of people from my class probably feel like they're ready with the unequal sharing. So watch your first question and get the first question underway. We're taking a quick water break. Start with the first question there. We're coming back in hot. 2 minutes. 2 minutes earlier. Whoa, yeah. Hey, boy, I'm real hungry, boy. Are you back from a break day? Oh my gosh. So Greg just pull out his teeth. Greg, which one of them come out by? One of the molars. And this man trade on the drain. He has playing around with it in the sink. And it slipped down and it fall in the drain. Anyhow, people back, people ready. 101, 10 minutes. Mr. Ben better get up by 70 minutes. So these, I guess people answer any question. Okay, let me go and see if they get the question out. How long does it take? Hey, where's that? How long does it take Mr. Ben to get dressed, eat, and walk to work? How long does it take Ben to get dressed, eat, and walk to work? I guess the only way I could do this is if I read the question. So Mr. Ben had to be at work at 9. He must get dressed, eat, and walk to work. Fine. After getting out of the bed, it takes him 15 minutes to get dressed, then 20 minutes to eat, and after that, 35 minutes to walk to work. How long does it take, Mr. Ben? Oh, they want you to add. That's why I was styling on this question. So this is just an addition. They want to figure out the whole total time here. 20, 35, so 70 minutes. Yeah, so all good there, all good. So what is the latest time Mr. Ben should get out of bed in order to get to work? Some of you all need to do this question every day. So you learn to wake up on time and reach all your classes on time. You need to do this question every day. Every day you get up, just do this question. Anyhow, so what is the latest time Mr. Ben should get out of bed in order to get to work? Well, what I'm seeing here is that we need to do a little subtractus. We need to do a little subtraction. We need to take 9 and subtract the 70 minutes. We could do this a few ways. We could do it in our mind. I guess some of you all could see it in your mind. We could look at 9 and say we subtracting how much it was 70 minutes as an hour and a little extra 10 minutes, take out the hour, end up on 8, take out 10, end up on 6. What is it? 6, that's 6, sorry, 750. Not sounding reasonable. So you can do it in your mind like that. Or if you're not seeing it in your mind, you could change the 70 minutes and say that 70 minutes is really 1 hour and 10 minutes. And write it like this because you know how to write your things out here. And then you them a little subtraction like this. Now, subtracting time, most people who could do it in the mind prefer to do it in the mind because it has some different rules to the games when you're subtracting time. It has some rule to the game. Like, I know when you're subtracting numbers, you could just say like you cross all the 9, you take a 8 and then you give them 100 or some kind of thing here, and then you say 10. And if you do that, no, that's wrong. The rule is in time, like when you, because the 10 can't subtract from 0. When you're doing it in time, and you bring it here, and it cross them 2 dots. You see, when it cross that 2 dots, it will change to 100 minutes. How many minutes in 1 hour? It's changed to 60 minutes earlier. 60. So now you're saying 10 from 60 is 50. And 1 from 8 is 7. It's quick enough. It's quick. You could figure it out quickly like this too. Wait. How will you get in 650? Nah, 750. I see how you get. In my mind, I was thinking 650, and I do it in my mind quickly just now, but it's 750. So I agree that what is the latest time? This man better get out of bed at 7:50 a.m. I see somebody say that earlier. Mr. Thing better get out at 7:50 if you want to make it on time. So 7:50 a.m. We can train the a.m. too, just to make the thing look good. But most these units, they normally write them for the NSA. Let's go forward. School starts at 8:45. Sally arrived. That's not the next question. Michael left home at 7:37 a.m. and arrived at school 43 minutes later. He reached school 5 minutes before the bell rang. What time did the bell ring? So this is some addition games here. Some addition games. So 7:37 plus 43 plus 5. Right? Left 7:37, 43, traveling. Reach the school, 5 minutes to spare. Add the 5 minutes, figure out. Yeah, man, we can do this. So once again, we in the land of addition here. And as I said before, some people like to do this in their mind, but you should be able to know how to add time, know the rules in adding time. So like this is going to cross 60, so you know we're going to add a throw out 1 day. So let's see what happens. So 7 and 5 is 7 and 5 is the same as 6 and 6, right? So that's 12. And 4 and 4 is, because this is 1 and 3, so that's 1, 4 is 82. Now that 82 need to relax himself. He not allowed to go inside there. So we need to put him here because it's too much. You can't cross 60. So now we need to take away the 60 from this. We get the 12. So you put the 12 there. You all catch what I'm doing? This is making sense to you all? I add this properly. 7 and then you put 12. Or 8. 22. Yikes. When you subtract 82, take away 60, you get 22. My bad. I don't know how I get the 12. So you have 22. So this should be good. This should be good. Now notice how the 45 minutes went there. And we're on 22. And what did we do? Since we subtract this 60 minutes, it's like we boosted an hour across here. Why isn't each other if you're all understanding this? So 1 plus 7 is 8. So 822. Is 822 the answer? No, all we did was we added 43. We actually need to throw in a little 5 minutes, and we don't need to think too much for this. Add on 5 minutes to 22 minutes to get 825. 825 is the answer. And I've seen a lot of people saying that in the chat. 8:25 a.m. Yeah. Did I add on? Whoops. Well, yes. So it's 43, not 45. Like that break unsettled me, boy. Yeah, I make a devastating mistake here. When I turn the page, I write 45. It's actually 43. But that 825 song real good. That 825 song like the correct answer, but it's not. Apparently, this is 20. So when I subtract now, I get 20. Oh, I said 22 plus 5 is 25. So I did wrong twice. So yeah, so 20 plus 5 is 825. So 825 is indeed the correct answer. But add that 22 here. Thanks, Ali. That was just to make sure that you're all paying attention. I do that every now and then to just make sure that the class, paying attention and thing. Okay, so it's 8:25 a.m. 43. So what we did, we added 43 and the 737. 43 and the 737, and you get the 820, and you add the 5 afterwards, and you get 825. Type 100 or show me the 100 emoji if you're killing off this question, if you understand that fully. Let's go on to question 3. And let's not do those silly things that we did before. School starts at 8:45 a.m. Sally arrived half an hour late. What time did she arrive at school? Well, half an hour late suggests that it was half an hour after this time, right? Half an hour after that time. So 8:45 and half an hour is like 30 minutes. Let me make sure I put the right thing. Half an hour is 30 minutes, right? So we put the 30 minutes here and we add in it. And we can see quickly that it's 9:15. You can see it in your mind because 8:45, half an hour, 9:15. Sierra is seeing it. Big up yourself. Big up yourself, Miss Ram Logan. And Devancia and Isaiah. Yeah. But if you're not seeing it, what will happen is that you get 75 here. And what we do is take away the 60, get the 15, put it back, add the 1 here. 9:15 a.m. Nice. And I've seen a lot of hundreds while you're killing off these questions. So while I didn't let me do the unequal sharing, but let's see, wanted me to do this time so much. An examination began at 8:30 a.m. and was done in 2 parts. Fine. The first part lasted for 1 hour and 15 minutes. The second part lasted for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Now, this was a question that surprisingly a lot of students got wrong. Something with like the break. At what time did the examination finish if there's a 20-minute break? This is one, and there's another one similar to this. I'm not too sure if this is the one, but there's this break in between, and some way the question it kind of tricked these students. Well, let's do it. So all I'm seeing to do here is just add, right? You have a first part. You start 8:30. You have a part that taking out 115 minutes. You need to add that. You have a part that taking out 115 minutes. You need to add that. And you have a 20 minutes break in between. Well, it was in between there, but you could add it in the end too. Addition is what we call commutative. It doesn't matter when you add it. You'll still get the same answer. So you need to add up all them things. You can just add it up all as one and see what kind of life you're living out here. Or you can add it up part by part. What are you feeling? Add it up all as one? Now, as I said, when I do this with students in lessons, some students like to do these things in their mind, and they're pretty good at it. But I would advise that you still know how to add using the rules of adding time, especially if you get unorthodox numbers. Okay, let's go. And in secondary school, there's this thing called working, boy. There is this thing called working that is like a strange concept to students when they reach in Form 1. Working. So if we add this, we get in 20 and 15 and 30 and 50 all together. How much that giving earlier, boy? I really don't know how much that is. So 30 and 50 is 80 and 15 is 95. And if you add the next 20, again 115 or some kind of thing. So let me verify. So this is 50 and 50, yeah, and then a 15, 115. So it's not quite 120. If it was 120, it means that there's 2 hours that need to come across here. So it's 115. So if I subtract 60 minutes, I've seen the correct answers in the chat now. There was a lot of wrong answers in the beginning. If I subtract the 60 minutes, because I need to get rid of the hours and bring them across here, right? That's that additional hour. I hope you're all understanding what I'm saying. When we add up all of this, we got 115 minutes. You can't bring across the 100. You need to bring across every 60 as an hour. So if it reached 120, I would have to bring across 2 hours, but it didn't. So when I subtract this, I get 55. I can put the 55 here. I'm allowed to put anything that's under 60 there. But there's this additional hour that needs to add on to this. And I'm really seeing that it's 8 plus 3 or 9 plus 2. And that gives us 11:55 a.m. Sweetness. So we had a lot of 11:15 for some reason. Why did we? Oh, the one, this. It's 11:55. So like people brought the 15 down and carry across the 1. Well, you need to subtract 60. And it will actually be 55 that I bring down. There's this rule of time that you need to pay attention to when you're adding, subtracting everything. As you're going across, it's not 100, it's 60s. Yeah? Thumbs up emoji if you understand this. Thumbs up emoji if you understand this. Let's go on to the next thing. Alan sets out, this is 2013 paper now. Alan sets out to run 3 laps without stopping. He starts at 10:15 a.m. and each lap takes 15 minutes. At what time does he finish? I want to read that again. I reach in this stage in this class, like it's at this little stage every 10 minutes. You had to read the question twice before you catch it now. Alan sets out to run 3 laps without stopping. He starts at 10:15 a.m. and each lap is easy thing, easy. So 15 times 3 laps, right? And then you add on. 15 times 3 is 45. I could do this in my mind. So 45, and if I add 45 and 15, I know 15 is like quarter. 45 is like 3/4. 15 plus what? That's like a whole hour there. So these people know what they're saying. These people know what they're saying. So 11, right? That's a 1 markers. That's that coming in the first section. That first section question. So 11. So let's just scroll past. I don't even need to write 11 there. That question deserves no set of dignity about writing it. The time shown on the clock A is 15 minutes ahead of the correct time. Ooh, this is confused, people. This is an easy version. This when a clock fast and a clock slow, not those questions are done bad, notoriously. The time shown on clock A is 15 minutes ahead of the correct time. I guess they want us to write the correct time here. What would you write? What do we write? Yeah, boy, what we writing in clock B day? So we need to write a kind of digital time. This is an analog clock. When you see the hands, word we use is analog. When you're writing the numbers, digital. So this is 15 minutes ahead. It's fast. It's ahead. It's in the future. So we need to go back to the correct time. The correct time, we need to go back 15 minutes. This clock is 15 minutes ahead. So if we go back, wap, 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 go back to the past, we'll end up on 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Well done. Whole chat saying 8 o'clock. Naruto saying 8:30. Naruto, organize yourself, brother. At the end of the next hour, clock A gained an additional 5 minutes ahead of the correct time, what time will be shown on clock A? What is this? What is this? There's a game. Okay, at the end of the next hour, clock A gained an additional 5 minutes ahead of the correct time. So a whole hour passed, and clock A decided to go an extra 5 minutes on the hour. So what it really showing? Come on. No, I've seen some people answering something here that's not the answer. They want to know what time will be shown on clock A. Yeah, boy. What time you will see on clock A after an hour pass? Ah, I've seen a correct answer. Finally. Wait, I've seen real wrong answers there, boy. On clock A, at the end of the next hour, if an hour pass, right? If an hour pass, then this clock A will still be showing 9:15. Right? An hour later, this will be saying 9:15, right? If it was doing the correct thing. Right. If it was right. But it actually boosts up an extra 5 minutes in that. So it's 9:20 is the answer, not 9:05. You see a huge volume of 9:05s. They're not talking about this clock anymore. They're talking about clock A. After an hour, clock A will be a 9:15, but it went up 5 minutes ahead. It's a fast clock. Right? Number 7, write the time shown on clock A in digital notation. Free marks. Free marks. So they just hit me them free marks there. Hit me them free marks. Jovan, where's he seen? Everything good? Hey, big up some of the people out here. Kyle. Kyle has been one of the top students out here. Kyle is in the standard 4, so he'll be in my new SEA class that starts next week. Wow. July is next week. Kyle, see you in class next week. But all of those who in standard 5, today is your last class. That's already need that line publicly here. But all the standard 4 people, we go in again. We start in July. But my class is just about full. For those of you all who want to register, it's 7908813. But still go ahead and, plus 1868. But I guess everybody doing essay from Trinidad, so you don't really need that part. So you WhatsApp this number to register for classes for the next year. But my SEA class is about full, but we'll have a next SEA class. Miss Celine, who is also one of the teachers in the student hub, will be teaching that SEA maths class as well. We have a SEA English class, and I'll be working along with them as well. So they'll still be getting some Cohen Springer. So you can feel free to register. We'll just have another class, but SEA is one of the classes that we have to limit the number of students in the student hub, because we tend to have the videos on in that class, and when the class are too much people, it's just be, it is a whole heap of standard 5s in one spot. It's be action. All right, so people telling me it's 340, and I agree with that. Some people being extra and 340 and thing because they know their clock is look like that, but I good with that 340. 340. Not 4. It didn't reach 4 yet. It's still coming up to 4. So 340 is the way to go. 340. 2016. The clock below shows the time Mark usually wakes up. The clock below shows the time Mark usually. Write the time shown on the clock. So Mark usually wakes up at some time. This is our next free marks thing. This is okay, Alia. Hit me that. Who else here from a class? Nazri, yeah. Nazri, you're jumping the gun. So before CSEC, I have lost secondary maths. So it's the same number. You all can WhatsApp parents. You're watching the stream. If your child is enjoying the teaching and they understand the style of teaching, that's the same style of teaching I generally use. You could watch the channel and see. If they're good with that, WhatsApp this number and sign up for lower secondary classes. So that's between Form 1 and 3. And I will introduce them to secondary school mathematics in a very nice way. throughout the year. Those classes actually start in July as well. That if you want to give them some time and let them start in September, that's okay. They could start in September. They will be able to watch the recordings from July and August. If you want them to just jump in one time and do that one class a week, secondary, to be primed up so that you can be ready for secondary school in September, all the best, all the better. All right, so the clock below shows the time Mark usually wakes up. So this is what is in 5:30, 5:30. I guess is at AM, but they never tell me anything about that. Mark slept for an additional 50 minutes, right? The time Mark awoke using digital notation. So it was 5:30. All of this is easy thing right now. We back to easy thing land. And he hit them an extra 15 minutes. So we need to add 15. So obviously that's a 5:45. Yeah, I know Akamani. How much of a lane standard for? Just asking. We have a good bit of standard for us. Look, one of the CSEC students here. She's going to write CSEC exams. All right, okay, that's an easy question. I'll give you something worthy of talking about now, man. All these the next easy question. A clock, so time could sometimes just be a quickie. Don't lose these marks, thinking it, don't get too overconfident, you know. Somebody is overconfident thing. Right, the time shown on the clock in digital notation. So it passed 8, it didn't quite reach 9 yet. So it's like 8. What y'all thinking? This is 2017 paper. But we're really going through here in case you didn't realize it's past papers, actual past papers. Yes, so 8:35 is the way to go. Now, you don't need to put AM or PM here if it wasn't indicated like it's morning or anything. So you just 8:35 and you rock back. Okay, so these kind of questions have been known to come as well, where they give you like plane flight times or train times or taxi or whatever, departure, arrival, time taken. And this is how they ask you a whole heap of addition and subtraction in a quick way. So you need to be able to read this. So I want to just pause and just make sure that everybody understands what's going on here. This is showing the departure. This is where they departed from. You all seen my mouse? Yes, you seen my mouse. So, and this is the flight, the name of the flight. So they're calling it WA-23. We don't really care what I mean. This is just the name of the flight, right? WA-23. That is for the airport people them to know. That's the code. And it leaves from Piaco at 6:30 a.m. This is the departure. And then it's going to arrive in Miami at 10:40 a.m. So we have a lot of these flights going on, but we have no flights coming in the opposite direction with people generally. Border kind of closed now. So 6:30 to 10:40. And then this time taken is how long the flight takes. So they want us to fill in the blanks. How long the flight was, at what time did flight thing arrive, at what time did it depart. So yes, fill in the blanks. You all seen that there's some stuff missing, right? There's some stuff missing here, here, and there. So they want us to fill in the blanks. So from this, we could deduce that from 6:30 to 10:40, we can figure out how long this thing is taking. And you could kind of do it in your mind too. I'm seeing a lot of people with the correct answer. It went from 6 to 10. That's 4 hours. 6 to 10, 4 hours. You see that immediately because 6:10 always subtract 4. You've seen that. And 30 to 40, there's an extra 10 minutes. So 4 hours and 10 minutes. Now, if you want to go through the subtraction, remember that this one will come first. And you subtract the 6:30. And you get the 10 and you get the 4. So very easy. First one, 3 marks. That is for you. That is for the people. This part here, departure, arrival. How are we doing this? Well, we know that the flight is taking 2 hours and 5 minutes. So what we should do is add the 2 hours and 5 minutes to the time you left and see what it is we have in there. Why in the chat if you agree with that? Type Y if you agree with that piece of logic there. So it's going to take 2 hours and 5 minutes. If we have 2 hours and 5 minutes to this, now there's this little thing that's going to happen. You're going to end up on 12 and you're going to switch from AM to PM. AM 2 p.m. because you're going to cross the 12 threshold. That 12 is a serious thing with these AMs and them PMs. By. So, what are you feeling? I seen cards that comes in 150, Kizaya saying 150. Are you agree with them? This person say I can have 1250 something. Luke, what is that? Luke, where you getting on a day? Luke, are you agree with Luke or are you agree with Isaiah and them? 150. Ciara, Kiara, Risa, Melissa, 150, Olive. So just for kicks, 150 is the answer. Just for kicks, I want to show you all how to add it if we were doing it using, just the addition technique here. So you pay 1145, you pay 205, and you add these guys up. Now when you add 5 and 45, you get 50. So we know it ended in 50. It didn't cross 60. So there's no magic tricks to do there. Now the 2 and 11 gives us 13. But this is in the 24-hour clock. 13 stands for 1. So this is 150. Y'all agree with that? Anybody need any explanation with that? The 24-hour clock, 13 is 1. When you reach 13, you start back on 1. And you just change. Like if this was an AM, then it means that this is PM land. PM. You just swap it. So I feel like talking enough about that. Make sure you put the PM here. If you don't get the mark. And all right, so we need to figure out the departure. So this time we need a little subtraction because you reach at 9:45 and you want to subtract 135. I want to do this one like 9:45 subtract 135 like that. Y'all agree? I get the 10 that everybody's saying. And 1 from 9, 8. So this was free marks. No big setter. What was the biggest trick? This one maybe? 110. They pay AM to lock the marks, to secure the bag. Let's keep going. Y'all could do some more questions. We nearly finished this. Y'all could do a 1 or 2 unequal sharing questions, or y'all tired? Let me know. A movie ended at the time shown on the digital clock. If the movie lasted for 1 hour and 55 minutes, at what time did the movie start, given that the clock is 10 minutes slow? We need to take the time with this question. A sense in danger. Why am I hearing boss music? I see 3 marks and I say, you know what? Let me just take the time with this question and make sure we do the correct thing because I seen this 10 minutes slow. And once it have clock that running slow and running fast, I want you all to make sure you take your time and think about it very clearly, right? And then check back your answer to make sure it makes sense. This is the time the movie ended. It lasted for 1 hour and 55 minutes. And then they come and tell me, this clock 10 minutes slow. Okay, we can sort out that 10 minutes slow problem afterwards. So it was 10:38 when it ended. Thankfully, it's no AM or PM here to consider. The movie was 1 hour and 55 minutes. Now, for sure, we are not adding. We are actually subtracting because we need to go back to the time it started. That's the whole aim of this game right now. The aim of the game is to go back to the time the movie start. This is when the movie ends. So we need to take out the time the movie last. I guess popcorn time and everything included there. So let's write this a little clearer because my handwriting is the best handwriting in the whole world. Minus 155. Why did I write 1 like an I? And then we go ahead. Now 38 in really have all that kind of facilities to be subtracting 55. So I need to do a little trick here where I need to cross out this 10 and make him a 9. And it's not a bringing 138 here. I'm actually bringing an additional 60 minutes to help out the cause. Because I borrowed 1 hour, which is 60 minutes, and I donated it to the 38 so he can, battle with his 55 properly. So 60 plus 38, I am really seeing 98 minus 55. You all agree? You all agree? Why isn't it chat if you understand what's happening here with the subtraction? Not doing it like this, so just you all understand how to do the subtraction addition where time is concerned. 60 and 38 is 98, right? So that's how I get the 98 there. I just want you all to I just want to reiterate that it's not 138. When you bring across the 1 is 1 hour, so it's 60 minutes. Good? Everybody good? So when you subtract here, we get in 3 and 4. So you put 43 there. And then you say 1 and 9. 9 minus 1 is 843. This is not the end. This is where you separate the sheep from the goats. The secondary from the primary. Because this is not the answer. This clock, slow, buddy. And what time did the movie start in real? This is the time the clock was showing. But this clock slow. What time the movie start in real? So let me think about it. If the clock is slow, did the movie, because we have two possible answers, and two possible things are showing up in the chat. Is it 8, and this is the part I really need you all to think clearly on. Is it that the real time is 8:33 or 8:53? Imagine yourself sit down in movie tongue. See 3 other place that is watching movies. Down south, that place. What is the name again? I forget. I really forget. Yes, so long I didn't go there. And your brethren tell you the time is 8:43. Movie about to start, 8:43. But his clock slow. His clock slow. What's the real time? If he say 8:43, but his clock slow. The real time had to be 8:53. It had to be 8:53 and his clock behind time because it's slow. 8:43. So think about it. Don't overthink. Make sure you, God, and time settle out all your differences here and you understand what's going on with slow and fast. South Park, right? South Park. Sorry to all the South people. Sorry. South Park. Right? So you're in South Park and your friend, let me see, Kyle. Kyle have a watch and Kyle say is 8:43. But we know Kyle watch slow. What's the time in real? In real. Had to be 8:53. His watch slow. His watch behind time. If his watch was fast, well then he's saying 8:43, but it is not 8:43 yet because his watch fast. It's really 8:33. So if this was fast, then the real time is that. But since it's slow, the real time is this. Now I just want you all to see how many people put the wrong answer this in the chat. Someone anything slow, if you like to subtract immediately, and there's be playing that trick on you in the exam. So not all you will be prepared, all you will get a max. So the real time is actually 8:53. They didn't say whether it's AM or PM. So 8:53 is the answer. And I know all you're ready for them. Hey, we still have 2 more questions to go. So when I asked, a lot of people said tired. I'll take a little vote after I finish these 2 questions to see if you all want to go again. Deborah fell asleep at 9:30 p.m. She slept for 4 hours and 45 minutes. What time did she wake? Kyle said, not my watch. My watch working perfectly fine. All right, Kyle. And I need you to spell that fine with an E and not a D. Deborah fell asleep at 9:30. She slept for 4 hours and 45 minutes. What time did she wake? So most of these time things, once you know how to add, you have no problems. If you're doing it in your mind, you could end up with little problems and things. But if you know how to add and you know the 60 rule and thing, no problems. You see, this is 75. What are we going to do? 75 minus the 60. 15 goes here. 1 goes there. 10 and 4 is 14. And so we end up with 14. So what do? We don't panic. We don't panic. We know that when you're dealing with the 24-hour clock, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, going along the road, so it's go all the way up to 24. This is 11 o'clock in real, this is 12 o'clock. When you reach 13, you start back at 1, 2. You all understand? I'll show your teacher draw something like this for you back in standard 4 and thing. I'll remember them good old days. Standard 3, standard 4, your teacher draw this. So when you see 14, I'm really seeing 2:15. And since it was PM, it means it's AM now. 3 marks. Well, 2 marks. Nice. A football game started at 4:10 and ended at 6 o'clock. There was a 15-minute break after the first half of the game. How much time was spent on actual play? So it went from 4:10 to 6. And you need to subtract a little 15 minutes. And you want the time on actual play. Justin, take a little time out there, brother. Take a little time out. Okay, so a football game started. Somebody was getting on real happy in the chat, so I had to time them out. So 4:10 p.m. and ended at 6 p.m. There was 15-minute break. So there's two ways you could approach the question. You could say 6. Well, you're seeing from 4 to 6 is like 2 hours. You just take away 10 minutes, so it's really a 150 minutes. And then you subtract the 15. 150 minutes subtract 15 is what, by 135 minutes or so. 135. I've seen people saying 135. So I'm feeling like that answer correct, just checking it out in my mind on actual planer. But you could do it like 6 minus 410. And you have the same kind of come across thing here where it's into like 60 now, and you have the 50 minutes there, and then you have the 1 hour and 50 minutes here. But 1 hour and 50 minutes is the whole game. Actual play, you need to take out the 15 minutes. 1 hour and 50. 1 hour and 50 minus 15 minutes. You get 135, right? So 1 hour and 35 minutes. I want you all to check over the question using different techniques. Try and do it in your mind. See if you can do it in your mind. Try doing it with the subtraction and see if you're good to go with that question. So I'll make this available to the class students. You'll get this available. You'll get this. You'll get all the different topics. We have a folder here with past paper topics. If you want to practice them topic by topic, we'll send that as well from past papers alone. And very likely I will be on tomorrow, please God, doing these questions, because when I go online or in my Instagram, people keep sending me unequal sharing questions. People, auntie, cousin, friend, everybody only sending me unequal sharing questions. I just say unequal sharing again, and then I do it most of the times, but I'm running out of time to do questions. So I'll just come online and do a lot of these questions that our parents send me a whole bunch of questions. Yeah, I'll do them again. So you'll get the idea of the different approaches to solving unequal sharing questions. It's a very unorthodox question. It's one of the only, this topic, you don't really see it that much appearing in CSEC. So like when I pose unequal sharing to add math students, I did it with Zaylene, certified Samsung sister. When I posed it to add math students, they didn't add maths. They struggle with the unequal sharing question, like thinking involved in it. If you understand algebra, you can do it with algebra, but you're not allowed to use algebra. You could use algebra in your exam, but you're not taught algebra. So I'll show you the different techniques using a kind of bar system, using a method with fractions with that bar, or just how to think about the questions as a standard 5 student. That will help you. And unequal sharing guaranteed to pop up in your exam. You'll be ready for them. All right, people. This brings the journey to a close, but don't run away. As I said, very likely tomorrow I'll be doing that. I may do an additional live sometime Monday or Tuesday. I wouldn't with CSEC, I'll be doing classes night before the exam and thing with SEA, the nature of the SEA exam and the age. I don't want to be doing anything on my channel live before the exam. You all could go and do stuff if you know you are that kind of person. You could handle doing work right down to exam. Some people need a little breather to catch themselves and thing. And class party. If it was a physical class, well, also we sharing out drinks and pizza and things. But well, you could just probably shout some virtual pizza to each other there. I have a video on YouTube with unequal sharing. One of the first videos I did with unequal sharing, I showed more of a secondary school approach to it. But the other videos subsequently, I did the SE approach. So you all could look that up. Hey, did he live stream here? Wow, what y'all looking? SEA maths unequal sharing. So there's this quick video I did with unequal sharing explaining some questions. You can check out that one. There's this next one where I did, how long this was? 10 minutes of unequal sharing here. You can check out that one as well. Then there's the ministry video on unequal sharing. If you want to check out that one, you can check out that one. All right, people. Love and blessings. It was nice to see pizza sharing out. Black is white here. It was nice. We get link again. Let me just put the number for parents who are interested. The number to sign up for Student Hub classes is 790-8813. So if you're going to, well, you are, everybody here who in thing will be doing lower secondary school, maths, use that number to sign up. If you are a standard 4 student, use that number to sign up for the SEA class that's going to start in July. Both of these classes starting in July. If you want to have this one, it's just one class a week. If you want to have that one class a week and get prepared for secondary school maths from scratch, jump in. Those of you all who are accustomed to the class, it will be easy for you all to just continue. So 790-8813. The SEA class, those of you all who want to sign up for the SEA class in Standard 4, Standard 3, want to sign up for the SEA class that's starting in July. My SEA class is just about filled. So hurry up and sign up, right? That's all I would say. Hurry up and sign up. We'll try to maybe open up an SEA class or 2, maths, to fill the demand. Later. Blessings. Let me answer some questions. Thanks, sir, for everything. Virtual hug. Here we can only give virtual hugs right now. It's Corona. People sharing tea, people crying. So the thing you're doing at certified Samson is what level, like what form? Anybody can take part in that. Once you have a social media platform and you have to learn how to use social media to grow like a business or be a common influencer, that kind of thing, we're going to be giving all the secrets on that. Exam on Thursday. I'm praying for all the exam students on Thursday that you'll remain calm, that everything that you'll learn will come up. Make sure you get good sleep. Make sure you're eating right. Luke, big up yourself. Carita. Judah. The number that I post is not the call. WhatsApp the number. Right? If your mom needs to speak to me after that, the admin will give you a number that you can call to get additional information if you needed it. Don't worry. Yeah, blessings. Somebody said they thought it was a CSEC maths. This is not CXC maths. This is maths for only 11 and 12-year-olds and 10-year-olds. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Kavon, bless up. Marianne. We still have 118 people here. I'm going to end the broadcast in the next few minutes. Normally, we play a little game after class, but I'm not seeing you all to play the game. Stacy, big up yourself. SC is just like doing a practice test, somebody say. Bye, everyone. Y'all can press like on the video before y'all bust out. If you're not seeing the like button, I think it's at the close the live chat and press like and that kind of thing. Feel free to share with your friends. If I'm going live tomorrow, I'll share with the class. I'll share the link with the class. All right, people. So I'm going to end the stream now.